What is up, everybody, and welcome to a very, very, very special edition of Blinkers Off. It's the 5th annual Racing Dudes Blinkers Off Pegasus World Cup preview show. I'm so excited to be here. I am your host today, Aaron Halterman. He's Jared Welch. Jared, how we doing?
Man, I'm good. This is great. I love it. I love just kind of being here. This is what it's like, just to not do anything. You just walk in and just kind of let you take over.
That's right. That's right. I'm all yours now, man. I'm in control. So
now to let the people know that what remind them, why are you hosting?
Well, because I wanted to. That's why I'm hosting. Just thought it'd be fun to do it today. No, in all seriousness, I lost the bet. The Chiefs did beat the Browns. It was a lot closer than we both expected. Of course, we didn't expect Patty Mahomes to go down with an injury, so that wasn't great. But I did lose the bet, so here I am. But you know what? Even though I'm a loser tonight, I feel like I'm going to be a winner. I've got a lot of special stuff planned. I'm really, really excited to host the show. I've been, practicing for days and days. I've been taking notes from Ricky Pasternak. He's been hosting the show, kind of getting some pointers from him. I'm pumped for the Pegasus World Cup, Jared. I'm pumped.
I'll tell you what, the last time I got on the show and didn't know what was coming, I ended up leaving the show with a year of Tinder gold, porn, and some Truly. So it's going to be hard to top that. I'm just saying, so this better be good, right?
Do you like my glasses?
I do. Is that supposed to be me?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm looking at myself in the camera. I'm like, yeah, not bad, dude. Not bad. So, listen, man, I don't want to dick around. We're gonna have a lot of dick jokes on the show today. I don't want to dick around much longer, though. Well, I want to get right into the Pegasus. I am really excited about it to get serious. So let's get right into best thing you saw today. Let's get it out of the way so we can get to the racing. Best thing you saw today for you.
It's easy. It's you in those glasses, right? I mean, that's like I don't know how you top that. Look at you. No, I mean, it's the fact that obviously it's for 10 years we've been doing the podcast basically on every Thursday, and it's just a tradition. Like as the night of the day goes on, it's like getting the pod ready, and then all of a sudden you're texting me, "Hey, how's this look?" And you text the group to you, me, and Magic. Hey, here's the pod. The description. I'm like, man, what is happening? Like this is all new to me. I love it. I just walked in. It's almost like the earth is kind of turned upside down a little bit. I don't know what's going to happen. It might help, might not. But I love it. The best thing I saw is the fact that I didn't have to do shit for this podcast. I just kind of walked into my office, turned my computer on, and I was ready to go.
Look, man, it took 37 years, but I feel like I've really come into my own. I can handle responsibility finally, right? So maybe we'll see. Maybe not.
All I know is it goes so well when Magic hosts. We'll see how it goes with you hosting, but I think I like the idea of me just handing the reins over to. You know what? I have an idea. I might just bring Ricky on. I'll let him host. He's gonna be permanent host on Blinkers Off.
So the best thing I saw today is comments like this: "Not a good Grade 1 race? ? Here's the deal. A lot of people in the industry shit all over this race. They have since day one. This is what I'm going to tell you guys about this. January was a terrible month for racing until the Pegasus. Whether it's a good Grade 1 or a bad Grade 1, your asses are going to be betting it. I'm going to be betting it. It's a great event for horse racing to have. It always has a big handle. They always put together a very good betting card. Is this the best Grade 1 race I've ever seen? Hell no. Absolutely not. But is it still very exciting? Does it still get people pumped for racing in January? We're used to, we could do like 4 shows in January and nobody would watch them. Now everybody's excited. Everybody's really pumped. So I always chuckle at the why do we have the Pegasus? Not that this comment says why do we have the Pegasus, but just the why do we have the Pegasus? Why did we do this? Especially from industry professionals who are profiting off the fact that there is a Pegasus. So I'm pumped for the race. I always am. It's become one of my favorites. Every year, it's like clockwork. We get the comments, well, this race sucks. I don't think it sucks. I'm excited.
I would definitely, and not even venture to say, like, the people that do bitch about it, I mean, the majority of them aren't going to the race. They're not there. Like, if you attend one Pegasus event, you'll see. I mean, it's January. You're in South Florida. There's not shit going on. I mean, like this weekend, obviously, the Smarty Jones, not usually much going on the Derby side of things. And so it's just kind of all the focus is on Gulfstream, you know, and this year, obviously, we you know, some horses scratching or not running in the race or getting retired early. But, you know, you have usually you have some really solid horses that run in the, you know, at least one that superstar. So it brings out the people. So, yeah, I mean, we've always been proponents for this race. It's first year we've never been there, and, you know, seeing it live. So that's kind of a bummer. But yeah, no, I agree. I love the Pegasus. It's a fun event because you just feel like there's no pressure, you know, like it's just like a fun event with good racing. Usually the betting's pretty good. The wagering, you know, the options. So yeah, I like it.
By the way, for the commenter there, I wasn't ranting towards you. To be real honest, I didn't have a best thing I saw today, and I saw that and said, I'll run with that. So don't worry. That was not a rant towards you at all. All right, well, should we get right into it, Jared? Do you have anything else you want to say? Are you ready to preview these races?
This is not my show, so you just do whatever you want to do, buddy.
Oh, that is a dangerous proposition. So let's do it. Let's get right into it, right? We're going to be talking about the Pegasus World Cup Turf and, of course, the Pegasus World Cup itself in depth. And then we're going to do some rapid fire, kind of like a big card style, like we've kind of done in the past. And we'll explain that once we get to. So without further ado, I'm going to channel my best Jared Welch.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh, jeez. I was waiting for it. I didn't know if you're gonna do your own little riders up or do something like that. That's no offense, Magic. Listen, Vinny wants to know what happened to the jersey.
So Saturday. I mean, wearing it on Saturday. We couldn't get together. So Saturday live show, I'll have the jersey on. Yeah. Yeah,
we didn't get together before today, so I'll be at his house on Saturday for the races, and so I'm gonna bring over. I got a couple Patty Mahomes jerseys to let you pick from. So
you said you're not gonna trust me in white, so I'm guessing red. I'm gonna wear the red.
Probably, yeah. Let's be honest. Yeah.
Oh, roll the Bryce. We're gonna cover it right now. All right. Are you ready?
Let's do it. I'm ready. Are we doing the Pegasus World Cup or the Turf first?
We're doing the Pegasus World Cup first, then the Pegasus World Cup Turf.
Got it. Okay.
Right. 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go. Race 12, the last race of the day at Gulfstream Park. It is the Pegasus World Cup Turf. Geez, already screwed it up. Pegasus World Cup Invitational. It's a great one.
I blame myself for that. I asked you right before we went live which one we were doing. I got it stuck in your head. See, it's not as easy as it looks, buddy.
You're a real asshole. The Pegasus World Cup Grade 1 race, going a mile and an eighth for 4-year-olds and older. We pose the question, is the Cox juice loose? Jared, before Nick's looks to be a little bit of the lone speed once again. Who's going with? Do you like Nick's go, or are you going to go elsewhere in this one?
Well, that Cox juice, man, it is good stuff. We've seen it on a lot of horses. He's got a lot of horses running. We're probably going to see it on Sunday with his newly acquired Hidden Scroll. I'm sure that juice is a full Owen. No, listen, I think this is a fun race because you have it's a deep field, or at least see, you can do so many jokes with the Cox. No, in reality, Nick's go. I won't forget the fact that you and I were sitting on the rail at the Breeders' Cup. He had just won the Breeders' Cup Dirt, and you and I were sitting there talking like, "What's next?" And you I think it was you. You kind of said, "Why would they not try to go to the Pegasus off that? I mean, why not?" Like. And here we are. And all of a sudden, I don't think either one of us thought he would be the favorite. We thought there'd be at least a couple other options aside from him that he might be second or third choice. But here we are. Nick's go. Brad Cox, Rosario back. Yeah, listen, this guy he's he's running at a different level right now. And his speed, to me, it's a speed. Like, I just don't see these horses aren't good enough to keep up with him. We know that early on. And, we saw it, what was it, 2 years ago, City of Light, a horse that maybe wasn't a 1.8 type horse, but he was so quick that you just couldn't catch him, and it's gonna be, I think there's gonna be a story of the day is gonna be a lot of these horses similar to this at Brad Cox trains that are very quick. They're gonna be tough to catch. So honestly, I only see a handful of horses, like 3, I'll say, that I think have a shot to win the actual race. So yeah, I think Knicks Go. I think he's the one to beat.
Yeah, I tend to agree. And I thought the biggest thing, and I'll ask you this question before I kind of go on with what I'm thinking for the race. What was a tougher race, the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile last time out or this race here, as far as the quality of the field?
Yeah, it's probably the last one, right?
Yeah, I tend to agree with that as well. And that's why I went with Knicks Go. I came into this event definitely trying to beat Knicks Go, no question about it. I don't really want any part of Knicks Go, at a short price. But then you look at his races with Brad Cox. I mean, he hasn't even been close to losing. Last time out, he set a wicked ass pace there at Keeneland, and still nobody closed on him. Now, he does have to stretch out to 1.8 miles. That's the only question mark. But in my mind, when I look at the potential setup and the rate and in the pace of this race, to me, he looks like he's going to get an easier lead than he did in the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. And what happens at Gulfstream Park at 1.8 miles if he's out loose on the lead? Who's really going to run him down? I looked at it and said, well, maybe Tax can beat him. Who would you rather have, Knicks Go or Tax? I mean, it's really just not, it's not a debate for me. I thought, well, Code of Honor, I could go back to him. I mean, he's been so disappointing. And is he going to be able to run down a horse like Knicks Go that I think is going to be loose on the lead? I'm just not sure. So, yeah, I hated it. I really didn't want to pick him going in, but the more I looked at the race, he just looked like the logical pick here.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, I didn't really want to pick him either. You look the way he won those 1.16 races earlier on in the year. It didn't look like 1.8 miles would be dangerous for him, And even if he is stretching the limit a little bit, it's like my theory is like, okay, so. I think you'd have to be a little delirious to say, well, I don't think Knicks Go is going to go to the lead, or I don't think Knicks Go is going to set a blazing speed fractions. He's going to, like, we all agree. So it's just a matter of like, oh, I think he's going to get ran down. Who's good enough to run him? That's the thing with me. It's like, am I going to sit here and try to think that Code of Honor can run him down? He should be able to, but he just has not. I think he's an underneath horse all around. Tax, I think, could. Sleepy Eyes Todd, I think, could. There's scenarios where he could. But it's just a matter of all these horses are going to have to be running faster earlier on in the race to keep up with Knicks Go. Then all of a sudden, they're going to have to be good enough to have that kick. Unless he just completely stops. I mean, you think about that Breeders' Cup, and you and I were sitting there, like I said, on the rail watching this race, and we looked at each other. This is one of our better plays that we liked of the day. And it's like, this is over. What is he doing? 21, 44, we're like, what is happening? And it's just, he just kept going and going. He did it easily. It was really unbelievable. Like you said, the 2 races prior, going to 1.16 miles, one by 7.5, one by 10.25. I mean, just this horse has ran 3 straight triple-digit buyers since being with Brad Cox.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the thing with Brad Cox. The other thing, he's won at 1.16 miles twice with Brad Cox, right? So exactly. I know, 1.8 miles seems to be, a difference maker a lot of times between horses that really want to go long and horses that maybe they're milers and they can get 1.16 miles and the 1.8 miles kind of hits them hard. I don't think that's going to be the case with him. You watch those 1.16 miles races, he's just galloping out there. So I really don't think the distance is going to hurt him that much, especially if he's running a slower pace than what he's used to, because they run slower paces in longer races. So I think I think the rest of them are in a bit of trouble here. And the other thing about it, when you start to analyze the other horses in the race, it's like, okay, let's kind of look for a long shot. They all kind of suck, like Sleepy Eyes Todd at 8-1 was a horse I was kind of interested in to maybe pull an upset, but when it gets right down to it, do you think Sleepy Eyes Todd is a better horse than Knicks Go? No.
No.
Okay, so what price would you need for Sleepy Eyes Todd? You would need double digits. Is he going to be that? No, because there's no other horses in the race that are going to get bet very hard. Like Sleepy Eyes Todd might be the third choice even because recent winners and won on all different tracks. I don't know. I just don't want any part of that horse unless he's like 15-1. Then you think about it, right? So then you say, okay, who are the horses that are going to be that 15-1 range? Nobody I'm interested in. So it's tough. One trend I want to point out, shorter prices have won this race the last 4 years. Underneath is where it's been really unpredictable. So if you're looking at some of those long prices, play them underneath is my suggestion. You look at who's hit the board in this race, it's a lot of long prices. So keep that in mind as you're handicapping as well. Don't be afraid to play a shorter price on top and then get a little wild underneath.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I do the trends article or a guide every year for the Rears Cup. And, this one is starting to have a little bit of a trend when you look at, for now being 5 years, Arrogate, obviously short price, Gunrunner short price, City of Light short price, Mucho Gusto. I don't think Mucho and City Light were favorites, but they were very short prices. The other two were. So the point being is class tends to win. It's hard to, we haven't seen a year yet since the Pegasus has been, the Pegasus World Cup has been around where we've seen a massive upset. And the fact that you would look at this race and consider a horse like Tax or consider a horse like Sleepy Eyes Todd tells you kind of the definition of the race, right? You wouldn't ever consider those two horses in years past of this race. And here we are with Knicks Go. And I just think his speed is so fast. And on this kind of track, when it will carry him that extra distance. The Brad Cox will carry him the extra distance. Like, I would much rather have Knicks Go than put my money on, Sleepy Eyes and hope that basically you're hoping that Knicks Go falls apart down the lane. And it's just like, I just don't see, I get, of course it could happen, but the money is not there. Brad Cox really likes this horse.
Think of it like this. The last thing about Knicks Go that I'll kind of say, and you're like, oh, I don't really want to pick Knicks Go to win the Pegasus World Cup. He's a better horse right now than Mucho Gusto was last year coming into this race. And I can remember sitting with you on a Thursday in Florida saying, I hate that I'm picking Mucho Gusto, but he looks like the best horse. Knicks Go's a better horse than he was at this point. Knicks Go's coming off 3 straight wins. Mucho Gusto last year was coming off a 4th in the Oklahoma Derby and came in here and won. All right. So I get it, but this ain't your mama's Pegasus, or I guess would it be your mama's, your daddy's? I don't know. This is not the Pegasus of yesteryear. This is not the first 2 or 3 runnings of it. This is the 4th and 5th year are pretty weak runnings, right? One question I do want to address. What do you expect Nick's price at gate? My guess is 8 to 5. What about you?
That's probably about right. I was sitting here looking last year. Last year, Higher Power was a favorite. How about that? Finished dead last. Let's look at City of Light 2 years back.
That's a good one.
He was almost Accelerate went off the favorite at paid 150. 190, so just right there, right next to each other, almost just like 8 to 5, 7 to 5, somewhere there, 6 to 5. So I would say you're probably going to get 6 to 8 to 5 on Knicks Go. 8 to 5 probably.
Yeah, you look at like Gunrunner was like even money. I think Arrogate was even money. I don't think Knicks Go is going to be back down as hard as those two horses. I think Gunrunner paid 110. So you're talking, So 9 to 5, 8 to 5 is where I would say you're going to land on with. Now, one thing I will say, if he drops like below even money, then it kind of gets a little dicey. Like I don't know if you don't want to take that, but if he is at 8 to 5, I think that's what he should be. So I would probably tell you to go for it if you want to bet him. Any final thoughts on this race, or should we head on over to the Pegasus World Cup Turf?
Well, we can talk about it on the next one, but I am interested to see what you're kind of thinking. I kind of know, but I'm not trying to be a host here. So I'm just trying to but which race do you like playing deeper in versus, if you're playing the pick 4, pick 5, would you rather go deep here and have, be thinner in the second, the Pegasus Turf, or do you want vice versa?
Yeah, going deep, one of my favorite things to do in life and in horse racing. I would definitely go short in this one, deep in the turf. So is that a good segue now? Can we go to the turf?
Going deep is what you like to do, but unfortunately, you always go short. Yes, go.
Okay, let's go back one race in time. Race 11. It's a Pegasus World Cup Turf, a grade 1 for 4-year-olds and up. $1 million purse. And what are we going? We're going 1 mile and 3/16 here. So the Preakness distance, but on the turf. I'm channeling my inner Slim with this announcer voice. The big question here, will Clean Cut Pete take down the Toddster? Todd Pletcher's got 3 horses in this race.
Sounds like Slim.
Yeah, for Clean Cut Peter Miller. He's got the big horse from the West Coast, number 8, Another Twist of Fate. Listen, we said it. I think you think this is a more wide open race, a hell of a betting race, in my opinion. Kick it to you first. Your thoughts on the Pegasus World Cup Turf?
Oh, I think it's awesome. I love this. Is one of my, if I could choose, like we're gonna here in a little bit, we're gonna do kind of like our race we're most excited to watch and value or whatever. This would be the race I'm most excited to watch. This one is just 12 horses in the race. I was handicapping this last night. It was like pulling teeth to even come up with 4. To narrow it down to 4. I felt like I was leaving off a horse every single time that I really really liked. I think this race is awesome. I really do. I really think you've got it all, right? You're the only thing I guess you're kind of missing the kind of like the superstar Chad Brown turf horse, right? Like that kind of horse. But other than that, you kind of have everything you need. West Coast, East Coast. Another Twist of Fate, obviously coming to the race red hot. Since being with Peter, another miracle worker, Peter Miller, Brad Cox. And then obviously Colonel Liam, a horse that is interesting to say the least. A horse that's very kind of lightly tested, but shows a lot of signs it could be a kind of a legit type of horse. But so, I mean, do you to me, in my opinion, this is a race where I was looking to play against the favorite.
Yeah, go a million different ways here. Don't go with the favorite. That would be my biggest takeaway. Listen, I like the number 5 Colonel Liam, who is the 7-2 morning line favorite in here. I do really like that horse. I think he has an abundance of talent. I think this is a really, really big step up compared to what he's been facing. Later on in the year, maybe even next time out, maybe we catch him at Belmont or Saratoga in the summer. This horse is going to win a big race. I like him. I like him a lot. I think he's up against it here. I think he's going to have to really, really show up in a big way to win. I'm against that Pletcher. I do like the number 6 Largent a little bit, and I like Social Paranoia a little bit as well. I also like the 2 Breaking the Rules for Shug McGahee. I think that's a really sneaky horse at 10-1. I think if you like either Shug, the 2 or the 4 being North Dakota at 10-1, yeah, that's right up your alley, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm going to go with everybody's favorite bald-headed bastard trainer, Clean Cut Pete. Peter Miller, man. This guy's never seen a drug in his life. It's obvious. And Another Twist of Fate. Got him rolling. He's got him rolling, right? Just had to figure it out. First time with Clean Cut Pete, Rosario came back. He said, hey, take off the blinkers on Another Twist of Fate. Take them off. Or maybe he said put them on. I can't remember what Magic told me. He said one or the other.
He put blinkers on.
Whatever equipment change they made, that was the key. Trust me, folks. That was the key. That's how they did it. So
they put blinkers on last time. So
okay, yeah. Rosario came out of the first race with Clean Cut Pete, and he said put the blinkers on. And Pete said, that's the ticket. I am a true horseman. I can do this. So he did it. And now Another Twist of Fate is ready to roll. Listen, I don't like taking California horses in turf races 9 times out of 10 when they come to the East. But Another Twist of Fate looked really damn good last time. I thought it was the best race of his career by a lot. And honestly, this horse has always shown a lot of talent. I really, really love the fact that he's got early speed in a race where there's not a lot of early speed. And so to Vinny's point here, he said, let's hear your thoughts on Storm the Court. He says that because Samich is high on Storm the Court here. I love Samich's thinking of a speed horse has got a good shot to win. I think he's on the wrong one. I think Storm the Court's going to fade. I think Another Twist of Fate is going to stay. And I think they're both have similar styles. So Samich and I kind of landed on a hit out. Now, to be fair, Storm the Court is not his top pick, but we landed on horses for the same reason, but they're different horses. I think it's very logical. Another Twist of Fate gets a really good trip and stays on. So Another Twist of Fate was my top choice.
Another Twist of Fate is going to get the dream trip. I really think. He's sitting there at the 8th spot. Like you say, he's got the Storm the Court on his inside. It's going to, hopefully at least be up there setting the pace. And then our horse here, I'm on Another Twist of Fate as well. He's going to sit right off of it. You look at this horse, it's pretty remarkable. It's hard to you kind of well, Another Twist of Fate, really. Other than, his debut, with Peter Miller, like you said, he had to figure some things out, right? Other than that, he only 2 times this horse didn't show up. He finished 10th in the Preakness. He finished 9th on his debut. Other than that, this horse has either won impressively, which he was doing a lot out of the Golden Gate. Finished 2nd in the Sunland Derby. Finished 2nd at Lexington. Then he finished 4th in Seabiscuit, and he won last time out. So he, like you say, he's always been a kind of classy horse, a very well bred horse. Got to the turf. Got his boy Peter Miller. Rosario's back for the 3rd time. Listen, I think he's going to run better than he did last time. Peter Miller 3rd off, he's got him the 3rd time, for his 3rd start. He's got him honed in, and he's bringing him here. This is going to be the perfect setup. So I really think it'd be shocking to me if he doesn't run a big race here. But again, like I said earlier, I like a lot in here. I do like your horse. You mentioned Breaking the Rules. I think that horse is really good. Colonel Liam, Largent, I like. Really, this is one of those races that if it goes, as you say, it goes deep as you can.
Yeah, and for some people, it's deeper than others. So whether you're talking about life or your betting budget. So I'll ask you this. This was the 3rd annual Pegasus Turf. I think it was a great move by Gulfstream to add this. It just adds another big race to the docket and another race for people to get excited about. You've seen all 3. Of course, we were there live for the first 2. Is this the best of the 3 as far as a betting race? And can you also say the same for the Pegasus World Cup Dirt? Are they both the best as far as betting races that you've seen?
Oh, yeah. This year, definitely.
Yeah.
I'd say. No doubt. Because even if you think, Nick's Go, I guess, is he's your favorite and is, but he's not up there with your Gun Runners or your Airgid, so people are going to try to play against and get creative. And so it's going to add a lot of intrigue into the betting and the value. And then, of course, this race. This race, you have nobody, really. You've got some that want to be somebody, but you really don't have a lot of anybody's in here yet. And so that brings a lot of opportunity in the race. Like I said, there's 12 horses in the race, and I can make a case for 9, 10 of them to win. Look, and for that point, I'm going to ask you about a horse that I was close to pulling the trigger to win as my top pick, who I ultimately left off my top 4 because I just couldn't, you know what I mean? I kept oh no, I like this one better. And then this one, and I can't leave this one. You know what I mean? And the next thing you know, this horse is my 5th horse. And now I'm like, well, shit, I about picked him to win. Number 11, Say the Word.
I'm with you. Magic talked to me about another number 11, Say the Word, as well. And I was like, I can't work him in. I don't know how. And we haven't even talked about the earlier races yet, but it's I just want to play too many horses in these other races. It was really hard to work him in, but you're right. Say the Word. Flavian Pratt says, you know what? I'll come all the way here and ride this horse. I'm with you. Right. Mm-hmm. Somebody, and I'm sorry, I've kind of lost track of the comments. Oh, here it is. Roll the Bryce, which is a great name, by the way. Michael Maker is going to be deadly in this race with the tries and the supers. I agree. No, I agree. Cross Border is a horse that has shown in the past that he can run with any kind of class. He's been in tough races. Horse is 15-1. An old war horse is how I described Cross Border in the preview. And then he's also got Aquaphobia. And Aquaphobia, I've got a little bit of soft spot in my heart for him because he wanted a huge price for me at Monmouth. Could Aquaphobia get 3rd at 20-30-1? Sure. I agree. So I agree with you there, Bryce. It's a wide open race. It's you're right. Yeah. I didn't use this race as the race I'm most looking forward to watch, just because we were going to talk about it anyway. But you're right. This is definitely the one on the card where it's actually both. You can't wait to bet it and you can't wait to watch it because the betting is so good here. I talk about this on the Rocket Show a lot. It's a kind of the race where even if the 3 favorites come in the try's still going to pay well.
Yeah.
Because the bettors are going to go 100 different ways. You don't need to worry about prices. You just need to worry about getting the horses home in your exotic bets, Yeah.
I mean, the level is it's lower than what you'd see at the Breeders' Cup, but as far as how the betting is going to go, it's a lot like a Breeders' Cup race, where you're going to have, like you say, even if favorites come in, it's going to still pay because it's just no one's going to be like pounded as a favorite. And the pools are going to be big in this race. So really, I think it's a very good betting race. If even if you're not playing multis, you just want to play this one. I mean, I wouldn't be afraid to invest a pretty good amount of dollars into this one, just because it's going to be there.
That's right. He remembers when Aquaphobia won. That was a really fun day. I think we were doing a live show too. And I was sitting, yes, we were, because I was at the old house. It was completely empty. All I had in the house was the computer and a sleeping bag. It was so depressing. And I was really depressed on the show. And then Aquaphobia won, and I didn't care to sleep in a sleeping bag for like the eighth day in a row. Thanks for bringing that up. That was a good memory. Any final thoughts, or do you think we're good to go for the rapid fire portion of the show?
I guess I would leave it with this race has a feel, even though you and I both are on another Twist of Fate. We really like that horse and provides a lot of value. It has a feel of a race that your horse could run really, really well and finish like 3rd or 4th. Like,
yep,
it just kind of has that feel. So, you don't get too crazy with it. And then obviously you can't bet the next one. Don't get too discouraged. Like, it's just going to be a tough race, but I think take an opinion, whoever you like, whether it be our horse or the Twist of Fate or whoever it is, and just and go with it. And whatever happens, happens.
Well said. See, just cut it right there for the podcast. I mean, this guy is such a fucking pro. Unbelievable.
It's not my first rodeo, buddy.
Yeah, that's true. Oh man, I hate these glasses. I'm telling you, man, I like how they look, but they're just, I don't know.
They don't look great on screen because they have the reflection. Those blue light glasses have that little reflection thing.
I think why I like them so much is they take away from this monstrosity of a face of mine.
I bet blue light glasses took off like in sales in popularity during the like COVID because everyone was at home and
when you're ugly. Now, remember this, all ugly people are listening. When you're ugly, it's better to do more. It's better to accessorize, like wear a hat a lot, things like that to cover up that face. So that's free advice that you're not going to get at DRF. All right.
Right.
Go to DRF and see if they give you fashion advice. I challenge you. All right. So
just follow Dave Pridman and do what he does, or Dave Pridman.
Listen, you just gave me a great idea. Obviously, Jay Privman is who he meant, but
yes,
I think we should create a character named Dave Privman, and Ryan should play the character, and we'll say it's his cousin or whatever. Ryan will play the character, and we'll have him on the pod every once in a while to give a real opinion,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like a professional.
Yeah.
So
and
Dave Privman.
What would be great about it is if he acts like him, he dresses like him, but we never actually say he's any relation, so that way it's like we don't get in trouble with that. It's just like. But people will know.
God, I'm not gonna be able to sleep at night thinking of things for that. So thank you for that. Okay.
Yes.
All right, Jared. Real quick before we go on air with the podcast, what order do you want to do? Do you want to do the lock? Do you want to do the long shot, or do you want to do the race you're looking forward to as far as first, second, third?
You surprise me. Whatever people want.
All right. So
I've got them ready. So I was looking at the odds because the odds weren't out last night when I was handicapping, which is always kind of fun to do that.
It is.
And I was looking at the odds this evening, and I was like, yeah, man, I got 10 to 1, I got 12 to 1 on top. So yeah, I mean, they might be good or bad, but hey, at least I got some value there. So I think I got the way I made my selections. I think I got kind of sprinkled them in. So
yeah, there's value to be had for sure. Boy, I just sitting here thinking, boy, I wish we had Dave Pridman on the show. All right, Let's do the rapid fire. 3, 2, 1. All right, it's time for rapid fire presented by the Pegasus Stakes Wagering Guide. Go to the website, maybe not right now, but in a couple hours, the Pegasus Wagering Guide will be out. It's got all kinds of shit in it. It's crazy. We got race previews of all the stakes, full pages. We've got small previews of all the non-stakes. We've got a multi-race page. Maybe the biggest thing, Jared and I combine kind of our knowledge and I guess knowledge would be the best way to describe it. We give you race by race exactly what we're betting for the 7 races of the 7 stakes races on the Pegasus card. You cash in over $300 if you followed our races, our selections at the Breeders' Cup. So it was very popular. That's why we're doing it again. Spoiler alert, we're investing about $300. So all that Breeders' Cup winning, we're going to put it right into the Pegasus. I don't know about you, Jared. I was pretty confident with our selections here. I think we're going to have a decent day.
Yeah, I mean, we have some big win bets mixed in there. We have some, that's what's cool about it. We hammered some wins, but we also got creative on some tries and some exactas and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, we kind of went all over the place, and that's what makes it fun. Is you and I definitely agree on this. Some people don't. You and I are very much how the race. A short page based on knowledge. No, I mean
that's a good one.
Yeah, it's really short. No, I mean it's you and I. The way we look at races, we look at them like each race you can bet differently, right? Yeah. One race it's an exacta, one race it's a win, one race it's a try. Some people like to bet tries every single race, and we always tell people like, dude, you can't do that. Some races just you don't need to.
Yeah, we really try to maximize each race. Here's what we like, and here's the way we can maximize the profit based on the opinions that we have. That's kind of the best way to describe it. And you probably did a better job than me just now. That's definitely it. We just want to give you some in-depth, so a lot of times they'll be like, here's 4 horses we like. Well, here's what we're going to do with those horses that we like. And you're right. Sometimes it's like, we love this horse. Let's just bet a win. Fuck it. We're not going to worry about trying to get creative. We just want to get that win money. Golden Pal was a great example at the Breeders' Cup. We didn't have, I think we may have the second horse, but not the third horse at the Breeders' Cup. But it's like, we just like that Golden Pal money. Give us that even money. We don't care. It's free money, right? So, that's what you can find. All right, let's get.
I think we had close to like a 60% ROI at the Breeders' Cup, and we were really good on the ones when we felt strong about the bets we had. Like some of them were like, well, it's the Breeders' Cup and it's a big race, so we'll try to get creative with the try or whatever, and hopefully we get lucky. And we got close on a lot. I mean, that was frustrating. It got very frustrating. But the ones we felt really strong about, they came in. So that was good. By the way, what is the Pegasus Stakes? Is that the race that runs at Monmouth by chance?
Yeah, the Pegasus Stakes runs at Monmouth. Yeah.
Okay, I was just wondering by the scrolling at the bottom. I was wondering what the Pegasus Stakes was. But okay, go ahead.
Oh, he's an asshole. All right. So here's how we're going to do the rapid fire today. We're going to go race you're most looking forward to watching, race that you think has the most likely winner, and the race that is the best value. We're going to start with most likely winner. We're going to start with Jared first. It's Jared's lock that shit up pick. Who do you like as a lock on the Pegasus undercard?
Man, you got this is great. Okay. I'll kick it off, and I'm going to steal yours here. Race 4, the Fred W. Hooper, number 1 performer. This horse is back for his 2021 campaign. 7-5 morning line. Listen, I mean, I don't think it's too creative here. I mean, I just think he's the best price or the best bet of the day. And I think there's a few options you could go with. Last time out, finished 3rd in Cigar. But prior to that, I mean, that snapped a 6-win, 5-win streak. This horse was awesome, and he draws a rail, gets Rosario back. Listen, he's gonna be tough to beat. And bottom line is, he's just better. He's just better than the rest of these horses. So performer, he's back. I think he's gonna win.
Same for me. I'm not here. Hold on. It's Aaron's lock that shit up pick. I'm gonna go with performer as well. Listen, I thought about, hey, I know he's gonna do that. I'm gonna do something different, but no, he's the lock. This is if you like professional wrestling at any point in your life, you've heard of retirement matches, right? Like It's a retirement match. And it's like, usually it's like a guy that's like 60 years old against a guy that's like 30 years old. It's like, I wonder who's going to lose. But anyway, and the loser retires. So this is a retirement match for jockey Joel Rosario. Rosario, if you're listening, I know you are. If you lose, you have to retire because you're the only reason why the horse is going to lose. So if you lose, Joel Rosario will retire. He will retire right after the race. He will not even ride the rest of the card.
All right. Well, I hope he's listening. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think there were some options. Like by the way, too, I not to give a spoiler alert, but I'm pretty sure this was the only, like if you get the guide, the wagering guide that we have offered at racingdudes.com, we have top 4 consensus picks. And I believe, I don't want to spoil it, but I believe this was the only consensus overall everyone picked Performer on top.
You are correct with that statement. So very good for you. Okay. Let's go on to the best value on the card. This is always a really exciting one. A lot of different ways you can go. Like we've said, there's a lot of value. Jared, we'll start with you. It's Jared's ballsy bet of the Breeders' Cup card. Jared, what's your ballsy bet?
Well, listen, I've got a couple. I looked at race 7 and race 8 of who I picked on top, and I've got a 12-1 in race 7, and in race 8 in the La Provente, I've got a 10-1. So take your pick, play them both, whatever you want to do. Well, I guess we'll go with the higher price horse, and that's number 1 in race 7, the Marshua's River Stakes, Belle Laura. I love this horse here at 12-1. I mean, are you kidding me? Listen, this horse is going to get a very early pace setup for this horse. Draws the rail. He gets his boy Barrios Hector back. I mean, who doesn't know Barrios Hector? The only time this guy's rode this horse, though, the horse won. Likes Gulfstream Park 2 wins and 4 starts, and likes this distance 3 wins and 7 starts. So I just think this horse has got plenty of speed. I don't love much in this race. This horse, she will go out to an early lead. She draws the rail. They're going to have to send, and they'll just have to try to catch her. So I understand the logic here. I mean, there's not like a ton to like with the 12-1, right? But
dude, I'm dying. Okay, I got to make fun of myself first because I said Breeders' Cup card. So if I make fun of myself, can I make fun of you?
Yeah. Okay.
What is the name of the one? The jockey on the one?
Barrios Hector. Hector Barrios.
Hector Barrios. Not Barrios, Hector. I love that. That just made me laugh. And yes, Magic, I did say Breeders' Cup card. I don't care. All right. So now listen. I think you picked a very interesting race because I was fairly high on the 4 Vigilante's Way in that race. But I will say this: if the 4 doesn't win, Katie Bar the Door, as my good friend and jockey Calvin Burrell, I think 3-time winning Kentucky Derby jockey Calvin Burrell likes to say, when Mind That Bird was shooting up the rail, he said it was Katie Bar the Door. We're going to win that thing. So if the 4 does not win, as Calvin says, Katie Bar the Door, it could be anybody. So I respect it. I like it.
I mean, I had Vigilante's Way in my top 4. I've got Tune in my top 4. So listen, I like these horses, and I'm going to play them underneath, and I'm going to play them in my multis. But I just think this race or the 8th race is kind of ripe for an upset, and so I'm going to look for some horses that I think have some experience, either have a pace advantage, or whatever, to maybe pull it off.
Yeah, no, and I wasn't saying you didn't like Vigilante's Way. I was just saying I think it is true to the name, a ballsy bet. All right, so Aaron's ballsy bet of the day is going to be on the Pegasus World Cup card. Will be in race 10. I am going to go, and what's the name of this race? The WL McKnight, a grade 3 race going 1.5 miles on the turf for the males. Tide of the Sea. I am very, very excited. This horse is 10-1. This is my top choice. We had Bryce talking about Mike Maker a little bit earlier when we were talking about the Pegasus World Cup Turf. Mike Maker long on the turf is just fantastic. He just does a great job. He wins a ton of races long on the turf. Tide of the Sea, you know what? 2 races back, 1 at this distance, looked very good. Last time out in the Fort Lauderdale, this horse was an absolute jackass, right? This horse was just acting like an idiot the whole way around. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? He's 10th, and when he should be on the lead, he was a mess, and he still closed and ran decent. So don't act like a jackass in this race. Go to the front, set the pace like you should. Don't be a rank idiot. And I think you can take him a long way. Tide of the Sea at 10-1 is a huge value. Gaffleone aboard. I am freaking excited to bet this horse at 10-1. So number 7, Tide of the Sea. That's my Andy Reid ballsy bet of the Pegasus World Cup card. All right.
Hey, listen, by the way, I didn't include that horse, but I like that horse. Mike Maker, Gaffleone, obviously, a lot to like there. Did you like the 6? I like to like 6 a little bit in that race. So Sir Sahib, do you like that horse? That horse came off a big race in the Northern Dancer last time out.
Yes, I do like the 6. I think the 6 has a shot. And another one, hey, that's 6-1. So, it's not quite a ballsy bet of the week, but it's a tough. I mean, it's not, it's a minor. It's like in between giant balls and little balls, right in the middle, I'd say with the 6.
Not throwing on fourth and 1 with Chad Henney. Not that ballsy, but kind of ballsy.
It's going for it on 4th and 1, but not throwing it. Maybe running it up the middle. That kind of thing.
Listen, I'll give the people one more because listen, I don't have to do anything. It's just great. Listen, and I will say this. This was I think Bell, the one of my first pick was maybe one other person included that horse in the top 4. This horse, I don't think is on anybody's radar. And that's in the next race that I had. I think what is this? What is the race 8? Is that the
race 8?
The La Provente Stakes.
La Provente.
Number 12, Court Return, 10-1 morning line. So not as big of a price, but I have this horse on top, and not one more person has this horse in their top 4. So it must be an awful pick, right?
I noticed that coming in. I didn't like Court Return either, but I did take a second look at it because it's Jared, right? He's got to know something.
Well, listen. Okay, this horse, 2 back in the EP Taylor, Grade 1 at Woodbine. Finishes second by Nick, almost wins the race to a Tully. Comes here to Gulfstream Park, runs next time out, doesn't run well. Finishes 7th, beaten 6 1/4. Luis Saez got them out that day. Jumped on board for Josie Carroll. Is it Josie Carroll? Josie Carroll. And
what do you want to call her?
Look, but Luis Saez, who's riding on Saturday? Luis Saez back on board.
Jockey Luis Saez.
My theory is this horse is going to come on. It has a nice pace, speed, or at least a closing turn of foot. The fact that Luis Saez, even though the race was pathetic last time out, is back. The horse almost won by a neck, almost won a Grade 1, 2 back. It's like, I like Always Shopping in here. I'm using her in here. I know you probably like Always Shopping. Heavenly Curlin, Sister Hanan, horses I think people are using. But Court Return, these 2 races, the 7th and the 8th, just struck me. I just couldn't get on board with the horse that's a short price, so I'm taking shots. Apparently, 2 big shots.
Yeah, no, I get it. Look at this. Howard Stern he started a horse handicapping show. So good. Thank you for listening, Howard. I listen to you every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. He says, look out for the Argentinian horse in that race I was talking about, the WL McKnight. Yeah, I could see it. And he also likes your horse there, the 6, in that race as well. So
there you go.
Howard Stern, thanks for listening. All right. It's now time for the race you're most looking forward to watching. Jared, what race on this 12-race extravaganza from beautiful Gulfstream Park are you most looking forward to watching?
Oh, this one was the easiest choice of the 3. How about, I'm probably going with this, race 6.
Ooh.
It's a main special weight. It's not a stakes race. Field of 12 in this one of 3-year-olds. It's a time of the year, right? We've seen horses kind of join the Derby Trail this time of the year on the Pegasus undercard. Hidden scroll. Gosley. That's the horse I drafted in the 3rd round of the Dudes Fantasy League. 5-1. Todd Pletcher, Elias Saez, the 3-horse. Gosley, the $1 million horse, is making his debut. So, of course, I'm excited to watch this race. But listen, Justify's got a half-brother in here with Chad Brown. Stage Raider, the Tinton horse. Traveler is the favorite at 7-2. Obviously, it's that kind of race because he's 7-2. Listen, I think there's at least 1 or 2 horses in here. Hopefully, it's mine that are gonna make a move towards the Derby Trail after this race. So, of course, this is one I'm most excited about.
Hey, guess what? Me too. Race 6 is my race I'm most excited to watch in the car, and I called it Watching Jared's Mule in Race 6. I don't know if it is a mule, though, Jared. I think, is it Gosley? I kept calling him Ghazali. I don't know, but I guess we'll find out when announcer
Let's see what Pete says.
That's right. Listen, when Luis Saez wins a race, I love when he goes, and it was ridden by jockey Luis Saez. I love that. I have no idea why.
It's Ghazali. I would never have said that. So there you go. Apparently, Maggie said that's
normal. I am correct. Listen, let's get serious for a second because there's a ton of horses to be excited about. The number 4 Exalted Charm was kind of interesting to me because Rosario picks up the mount for Breen. You don't see that very often. So that was kind of a sign that could be a sneaky one in a race that has a lot of horses with hype. The 4 getting Rosario, that's kind of sneaky, right? So I kind of like the 4 a little bit. You mentioned Justifies half brother, obviously, one you got to look at as well. But you could go a lot of different ways. I mean, Pletcher has 2 in here, and the favorite of the race and the horse that I didn't like that well, as I'll scroll down so you can see the name there. Traveler. I kind of liked your horse, Ghazali, a little bit better. So there's a lot of ways you can go here, but I think the key is kind of what you said. It's that time of year, right? The Derby Trail is pretty muddled, I would call it at this point.
I mean, yeah, dude. Listen, right? This horse, like, that's why I'm saying, like, that's why this is so interesting to me, is because I think any of these horses right now could be a horse that at least we're talking about in the Florida Derby, say, just throwing that out there. But this is the time of the year when they make that move. Ghazali, listen, there's a reason why I drafted $1 million horse. He's a curling horse. He's out of a Giants Causeway mare. I mean, this horse should run like for 2 miles if he wants to. Shadwell stable owned, Louis Saez, Todd Pletcher. I mean, there's a lot to like. It's just a matter, is he good? You just don't know until these 2 now 3-year-olds debut. So I don't know. I mean, it's definitely exciting. And I think, like, because you have that kind of connection, or you have, like you said, a Justify half brother, or you've got Traveler, who, even if you don't like, I mean, Windstar, China Horse Club. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you have all the connections are there for a lot of these horses to, if one of these wins, to get excited about.
Vinny mentioned the number 6 Prevalence, a Godolphin homebred at 12-1. Vinny, I thought about that horse a lot as well. Yeah.
Who'd you pick to win the race? Can I ask?
No. You want to know who I picked to win the race? Come to racingdudes.com and buy my sheet. Actually, no. The free picks always have the winners. You don't have to buy my thoughts when it comes to who's going to win the race. Jared, I almost picked yours. This is not a slide on yours at all, but I just thought Stage Raider. I mean, looks pretty good, dude. Looks pretty good. But listen, I like your second, so don't take that. Don't take that and cry. Stop. Please stop crying. So, but listen, I think it's going to be a hell of a race.
If Stage Raider wins, I'm probably going to claim that horse. So I'll own both the top 2 anyways. So
yeah, my good friend Ricky P texted me today, and he said, I think 2 or 3 horses in your fantasy league that I didn't want to play in could be claimed out of this race. That's interesting. So I agree. Look, we're just going to go real quick.
Took me a second, but I got that. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to go real quick to the Smarty Jones. Okay. Because Oaklawn Park opens up. If you're listening to this right now, it opens up tomorrow. If you're listening to this over the podcast, it's opening up today. And we do have a Kentucky Derby prep race. It is the Smarty Jones Stakes there at Oaklawn Park, going a flat mile. And important to note, speed horses usually do well in this race because it is a 1-mile race with a short stretch there at Oaklawn Park. Races begin and end at the 16th pole. Okay, the Smarty Jones Stakes. Jared, we're not going to talk about it in depth, but just real quick, is this the worst morning line you have ever seen? And who is your pick in the race?
Yes and yes. No, it's. I can't even believe it. I mean, if anybody's biased to the name Cohen, it's me. And I was like, that horse is 9-5. Like, really?
Yeah.
No. I mean, I agree. Listen, this race is generally not a lot of weight can be carried into this race moving forward, but Cattle River is a horse for Brad Cox that really ran well last time out. flow. Going to make going to start riding at Oaklawn this year. Going to ride more at Oaklawn. It's exciting. So I think I just don't see. Really, like Cohen. Listen, Cohen, a horse that ran the Breeders' Cup. Yeah, he finished second. Is on the turf. Finished second. A horse, he ran at Kentucky Downs. Finished third to Outdoor. He finished second on the turf at the end of summer at Keeneland. He went to Remington, the springboard. Finished second to Senor Buscador, a horse that's number one pick for you in your fantasy league. I guess I see that he's not bad, but to pick him here, I just don't see it. So I think Brad Cox has got this race, and Slim's got this horse in the league. I think Caddo River is going to be tough to beat. I think he's better than the rest of them.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, Willie, the bathroom attendant right by the simulcast area at Oaklawn Park, is a very, very nice guy. Known him for a lot of years, consider him a personal friend. But Willie also makes the morning line at Oaklawn. So you kind of have to give him a break, right? Because he has to do bathroom attendance and he also has to make the morning line. It's tough. I think he made a bad one here. I'm sorry, Willie. You're a good friend, and I'll text you and apologize after the race or after the pod, but you made a bad one. Caddo River at 5-2 is absolute insanity. I think the horse is 3-5, and I also think the horse should be. I think Caddo River cruises. I agree with what he said about Cowan. You call him Cohen, I call him Cowan. I just think he is what he is, right? He's second, right. Third. That's about it. The only other horse I'm really interested in is the 6 Moonlight Strike coming in.
Yeah, I agree. Yes.
Yeah. It for Hay Oats and Water, Saffy Joseph Jr. This guy, what a horseman. loves to think of little things that he can adjust, to get the most out of a horse. And that's what you got to love about a trainer like Saffy Joseph Jr. The 6 Moonlight Strike coming in from Florida is interesting. Like, why are you bringing this horse to Arkansas from Florida? So he might maybe pose a little bit of a threat, but Caddo River on top for me. I talked about it earlier, the short stretch of the mile run, as Terry Wallace used to say, and Vic will call them all the way to the line now instead of calling them where they really finish. But R.I.P. Terry Wallace, short stretch of the mile run. Here they come. But Caddo River for me, wire to wire.
Yeah, you got. This is one of those races that we saw it last year. He was on my fantasy team. Great attempt. These sprinters can win this race, right? Yeah. Because of the way this race is ran. The short stretch sprinters can hold on, and you look at last year's race when Great Attempt did hold on to win. Long Range Toddy finished second. Obviously, continued to kind of at least make a name for himself down the stretch. What did he win for you? He won the Rebel. Yeah. Mm-hmm. One of the Rebels. Super Steed was in that banquet. Sleepy Eyes Todd. There you go. He was in that race too. So there you go. I guess the point is you don't have to be a mile horse. You can be a sprinter and win this race. So that's why it's always kind of a funky kind of race when it comes to kind of moving forward. To me, Jared, speed is what you want. Let's just put it that way.
To me, Jared, yeah, exactly. To me, that's why you don't see a lot of big-time horses in this first one at Oaklawn, because the mile at Oaklawn is very different from even the mile in the 16th. And you're right. Sprinters can win at a mile at Oaklawn. That's something that is a really good handicapping angle as we open up Oaklawn. If you see a mile race, don't worry if the horse has good 6 furlong form, probably can stretch out to a mile. Speed's what you want at Oaklawn going a mile. So, boy, I'm glad we got Oaklawn in there. Listen, I think it's about time to end the show. So let's cut it off. Let's end the segment of Rapid Fire with this. Good luck to everybody that's going to play the Pegasus. And if you are attending the Pegasus, I hate you. All right.
I was wondering what year if you're going. Oh, nice. Who put the names right there? Is that you?
I know, Magic.
Oh, that's great.
Dave, listen, I'm coming on the Rocket Show tomorrow as Dave Pridman, and Rick is gonna have no clue.
Barrios Hector. There you go. Barrios Hector and Dave Pridman, the 2 sidekicks of Blinkers Off now.
All right, so I figured for the last segment I would say blah 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 blah, whatever you say. I'm not gonna say it because I don't know, and then we'll kick it to some football. Does that sound good?
Yeah, we need to talk about some football.
Okay. Should I count it down?
Let's do it.
All right. 3, 2, 1. All right, that's all the time we have. Check us out, whatever Jared says, and good luck to everybody running in the Pegasus, or everybody betting the Pegasus.
Good luck to the horses betting. You guys, good luck.
Running, we're betting either one. If you're running a marathon, good luck for that as well. Good luck to everybody running in the. I did it again. Everybody betting the Pegasus World Cup card. We're gonna stay on for a few more minutes though. So if you're still watching live and you have some questions, maybe some things we didn't address, maybe you missed something we said, go ahead and put it in the comment line. We'll kind of randomly get to them as we're just kind of talking and jackassing around right now. We need to talk a little football though, right? Because your Kansas City Chiefs are still alive after just squeaking by the amazing effort by the Cleveland Browns last week. Chiefs and Bills, Jared, what do you think?
Yeah, it's obviously any Chiefs fan is not really looking at the matchup. They're all basically looking at every single practice this week and seeing if our boy number 15 is out there. And so Mahomes has practiced the last 2 weeks in limited fashion. Obviously, there's been a ton of reports of what really happened on that play. If it was, if he even hit his head, if it was a concussion, he's in the concussion protocol because of the way he basically stood up. I don't think it's an issue. Like all the reports I've heard are that they'd be shocked if he doesn't play. So, and I would be too. So the line in Vegas is going to dictate that still. It's still sitting there at -3. So I think people are pretty steadfast that the Chiefs are going to have Patrick Mahomes. Sammy Watkins has been practicing. Clyde has been practicing. It's good. I mean, we're trying to get our guys back. So it's going to be a good game. Buffalo's tough. I mean, it should be, right? This is the AFC Championship, so it should be a good game. I just think overall, I mean, the Chiefs are better. If Mahomes plays, I think they're going to win. They should win. So I got the Chiefs for sure, bias aside. What about you? I mean, how are you feeling about obviously there's been some debate how the Chiefs squeaked by. The Chiefs never punted in the game, so I don't know how you work that in. I guess the fact that they could have won the game. The Browns could have. It would have been a huge upset, but they had a chance at the end of the game. So what do you think of the game, and what do you think of the Chiefs? How did that dictate how you feel moving forward?
Well, one thing I know, Mama didn't raise no wuss, right? So if Baker Mayfield, if that would have happened to him, he just would have played the next play. No big deal. But whatever, Mahomes, whatever he wants to do, he can do. Listen, Chiefs will beat Buffalo. Chiefs will beat Buffalo. I think Green Bay can beat Kansas City. I don't think Buffalo can. So, I mean, I
agree with that.
Yeah, I think they're going to win. I would be inclined to maybe think about Buffalo a bit. Those two games that they've won. That's great. They weren't really impressive, and they're going to have to be really good to go to Kansas City and win. So I just don't think Buffalo gets the job done. I think it's Kansas City, man. I think they're gonna get the job done. Yeah, Patty's back, and listen. Browns fans, for real, if you're watching this, let's get real for a second. That was not a game, right? The score was a 5-point game, but that was a 30-point spread. I mean, the Chiefs are so much better. The one problem the Chiefs have, they dick around way too much. Like even when Mahomes should have got hurt, they should have been up like 3 scores and it didn't matter. So that's a little scary for the Chiefs. And I think when they finally face somebody really good, Green Bay, they better be ready. That's all I'm going to say. Let's answer a quick Pegasus question in between the two football games we're going to talk about. Since the Pegasus is being overshadowed by the Saudi Cup, should the race only be $750,000 and keep its grade 1 status moving forward? Yeah, Ric Flair, I think they should keep it as what it is because I think the Pegasus needs to still be a big-time event or at least have that feel of a big-time event. I think if you drop it down in purse anymore, it's going to definitely lose that. So I wish it'll keep its $3 million value, keep the $1 million value for the turf, and that way we still have this huge event to talk about in January. I think that should be the goal for horse racing, to keep that as a big event. I think you move it down to $750,000. You know what it becomes? Ric Flair knows it becomes the Don Handicap. And when we had the Don Handicap, nobody really gave a shit about this weekend. So let's keep it at $3 million.
What was it? What was it? 12? Is that what it's kicked off at?
I think it kicked off at 12 and then it got to 16 and now we're down to 3. So
Because it was 12, I think, for each a million for each entry, and then maybe went to 16 when Dubai jacked theirs up, and then So I don't think they want to go. They definitely don't want to go under $1 million. I mean, they want to keep it at what it is, I think. So, I don't see it. The bottom line is the money's there. I mean, even if it's not a premier event anymore, like it used to be for the first couple of years, you still have a lot. I mean, it's Gulfstream Park. People are still betting the shit out of it. So,
yep. No, that's right. Absolutely right. Any questions still? Let us know. We're going to talk about one more football game. We're going to talk about Tampa Bay going to Green Bay, and boy, just the ageless Tom Brady going up against Aaron Rodgers, who's on quite a roll. I debated this one a little bit in my head. I'll kick to you first. What do you think, or what are your thoughts, I should say, on Tampa Bay at Green Bay?
Well, first of all, how cool is on Sunday going to be? You got the early game, which is Tampa and Green Bay. So you've got the two, obviously Brady, the GOAT, and Aaron Rodgers right there. I mean, two the older guys, and then in the AFC Championship, you've got two of the younger guys, right? The two young guys that are kind of going to be taking over as these guys move on. And so it's two really good games, and that as far as quarterback matchups go. And I mean, I don't know. I think I saw a stat, right? You correct me, but I'm pretty sure Aaron Rodgers and Brady have never met in the playoffs. I believe that's correct, right? Because they would have been in the Super Bowl previously because Brady was in the AFC. I mean, I don't think that's ever happened. So that makes this an awesome matchup. I've been worried about Green Bay all year, and I stand by. They're the only team that can beat the Chiefs, in my opinion. I think it's going to be Green Bay, Kansas City. I think it was going to be Green Bay, Kansas City a long time ago. I just feel like that's where we're getting to.
Yep.
Credit goes to Tampa Bay. I didn't think they would beat the Saints, but Brees really he really did show his age in that game. Unfortunately, so Brady was able to hold on, and obviously Brady's Brady. So Green Bay going to Green Bay. I like Green Bay in that game. It's -3.5, I think, is where it's at now. 3.5, depending where you go. So both games are tight, but I like Green Bay and I like Kansas City, both of them to cover.
A lot to unpack for me. First and foremost, I hated that for Drew Brees, but I said that like 6-7 weeks ago. They played the Chiefs. It's like, damn, this guy, he looks ancient out there, and I hate that because I really like Drew Brees. I loved watching him play over the years. It's tough to go against the GOAT. It really, really is. But I just kind of think they're up against it here. I don't think Tampa Bay will win this thing. I will say I have super enjoyed Brady this year at Tampa. I mean, the guy, listen, I went and watched him play last year. They played the Browns, and it's like, damn, he doesn't look that old out there. Like Drew Brees is like, yeah, that's an old-ass quarterback. Brady he just looks good still, and he's not mobile at all, but damn, he can throw. So I think they'll make it interesting. I think it'll be closer than maybe the experts think, but in the end, I agree with you. I think it's been Green Bay, Kansas City all year. I think that's what we're going to get. I think that's the best Super Bowl. Right. Maybe not the best storylines because the Bills against Brady would be amazing. You got Brady, at Tampa in his first year, and the Bills, it's like, holy shit, the Bills might win. I mean, so that would be wild. But I think as far as the game goes, I think Green Bay, Kansas City would be absolutely fantastic.
I mean, honestly, it would be cool to see. I mean, everyone remembers, at least us Chiefs fans definitely remember the AFC Championship between Brady and Mahomes. So even though different team for Brady, it'd be kind of fun to have that back, right? To do Brady versus Mahomes. Obviously, I'm biased. I'm preferring that the Chiefs are in there, not the Bills. But the Bills will be a fun game to watch too. It would be wild, right? Like after this year, and is Cam Brady do it? And obviously, at times Tampa didn't look great. Brady didn't look great. At times, obviously, the debate: can he do it without Belichick? Can Belichick do it without him? Well, we showed that it wasn't so good with Cam and Belichick. But if Brady were able to just go straight from New England to Tampa Bay and get the Super Bowl, that'd be unbelievable. I mean, Gronk doesn't even know where he's at. He was talking about after the game that they're going to the AFC Championship. Like, no, you're going to the NFC Championship. It's like, I mean, but they don't care. They're playing in another AFC or NFC Championship game. And it's just kind of amazing. Like you say, Brady just seems to he's the ageless wonder. Like he does. He has zip on the ball still. He looks the same. He's unbelievable. And it's been kind of fun to watch. So a Chiefs Tampa Bay. Either way, as long as the Chiefs are in there, I don't care.
Exactly.
I'll be rooting for Tampa Bay just because I think that's the easier route. Green Bay feels a lot like San Francisco did last year, where I didn't know if we could win, if we could beat San Francisco. They had a good defense, and even their offense was a little bit different style of offense than we had last year in San Francisco. I just don't know if we can hang. Like you say, if you dig around Green Bay, that game will get out of hand quick.
I think that's the biggest thing. I think they're a little more dangerous offensively. But for me, honestly, Jared, the biggest thing is the Chiefs have just really played like shit for a long time this year. I still don't think they're playing like they're capable, and I think that's the biggest.
And yet they're in the AFC Championship. That's what's so crazy about it.
The big question is, can they turn it on when they need to turn it on? Because if the answer to that is yes, they're going to win.
And trust me, as a fan, it's so frustrating because there's times in every game, like even on Sunday, we're like, there they are. They're turning it on. You can see it. And then it would just kind of fizzle. Like when that game started off just too quick, it's like, oh, you're not going to stop them. It's going to be like this all day. And then it's just like, oh, he missed a field goal, or oh, the one thing is we never turned the ball over, and not Mahomes, and we never punted. So I mean, obviously, it's like it's you know what I mean. Like to say that you're like, well, it's full domination. Like, well, it should have been, but it wasn't. So that you're right. I mean, but it's also a question of if it's Green Bay, will they all of a sudden be able to they'll score 40 and it won't matter. It's just like they kind of just play to whoever they're playing. So.
Look at this, man. Ric Flair, he says they're going to shut him down. Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, look out, Chiefs.
That's cute.
Listen, Rick, ask us your normal question. We might answer it tonight. You never know. I'm just kidding. We're not going to.
He is the host. I have no control. So
no, I'm still not going to do that. I don't want to ruin how long have we been doing this? However long career. All right. So I'm Dave Privman, and he is Barrios Hector. We're going to sign off today, or tonight, I should say. Jared, I'll kick it to you one more time. One more final thought before I sign us off and end this puppy.
Like I say, I'm sentiment you said earlier. If you are at the Pegasus, I hate you. If you're betting the Pegasus, then have fun. It's a great card. Top to bottom, really fun. Like I said, we race 6 with that. Obviously, race 4 with the stakes, and race 6 with the 3-year-olds, and then it gets into the stakes action after that, and it's just gonna be one after another. And it has a feel of a Breeders' Cup card in a sense where one race you could be all over it and you could cash big. One race you could miss it completely. Just keep going. I think the value will be there. The pools will be there. So yeah, have fun. I think it's going to be a great day at Gulfstream Park, and those last 2 races I think will be fun.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. So I'll just sign off right here. I'll just ask one question. It's a life question. Is the Cox juice loose? It's the key to everything, guys. Don't forget that. It's the key to life. It's the key to betting. It's the key to the Pegasus card.
It's the key to life.
Exactly. Good luck to everybody playing. Really excited. Come to racingdudes.com. I mean, my God, we got rockets. We got bombs. We got guides. Holy shit. We got everything. So everybody have a great weekend. We will be back on Friday covering Oaklawn Park's opening day on the Rocket Show. And then on Saturday, we will have a live stream, I'm sure, for the 4 or 5 last races on the card there at Gulfstream Park. So without further ado, good luck this weekend, everybody.